playoffs. This is we're in week 9 right now. This is officially look at standings season, I guess you want to call it. So I said this last week. I said on Friday that the Bears would have to go 3-0 for me to give them a shot to win the division. And by the way, I don't think anybody on the show, I think Bang was the only one who picked them to win the division. I think actually Dante, I think you picked them to win the division too. But I know that me and Mikey, I know my brother on 7 at the house, we didn't pick them winning the division.
No, I picked Detroit.
You picked so it was only Bang who picked them to win the division.
Yeah, fuck
okay, so but I said in order for them to at least be in the playoff race, they've got to go 2-1 in this upcoming 3. I think this upcoming game against Arizona, of course, we'll preview it on Friday and on Wednesday on 79th and Hallis. That's going to be a lot tougher game than original. That team is now 4-4. They're in a 3-way tie for first place in the NFC West. And Kyler Murray, even though he can tweak off, he can still be really, really good. And Marvin Harrison is an animal. I won't say their playoff dreams are dead yet, but I do think that this gives them very, very, very little room for a mistake. And you don't want that with a team that is as badly coached as this. For me, they're personally on life support. They're on life support to me because not that I don't think they're going to win any more games. It's the coaching. Going forward, he's going to be the worst coach in every game they play. Like by a large margin, especially in the NFC North. And that makes the gauntlet from hell even more intimidating because now you got 3 teams who know you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different when you got a team who don't know you and they can expose your weaknesses. You got 3 teams where division matchups, all the stats, they go out the window on division matchups. Like, even you saw yesterday, the Colts are not a good team. That game with the Texans went down to the wire because it is a division game and stats don't matter. So in every matchup against Dan Campbell, Kevin O'Connell, Matt LaFleur, Flus is gonna be the odd man out. So that's why I feel they're on life support right now. And I mean, like, we might want to send your regards type life support. Like, when you start bringing the preacher in and the family members into the rooms, this nigga finna die. Like, that's what I feel is. I feel like I said on Friday, playoffs begin on Sunday, and yesterday was a massive blow, especially to a team you're probably gonna be chasing because, like I said earlier, I don't know if the Commanders going to win the division. They're only a game up on Philly, and it looked like Philly started to get their stuff together, and neither team has played yet. So let's just say Philly does come back and win that division. You're going to be competing with a team like the Commanders who now have the tiebreaker over you. And if Commanders do win, you're going to be chasing a veteran team like Philly who knows how to win in November and December. So that's why, for me, they're not dead, but they are very much on life support. Flo, as we think about the Bears' playoff chances at the current moment.
I don't know if it's on life support. When before they lost, I would have said it's probably cautiously. I put it in a cautious phase where I say I'm not sure if they really playoff worthy or they'll make it, but things are looking up. As of right now, it took maybe 1 of 2 blows before I say, yeah, you're in life support. You're probably not going to make the playoffs. The issue is that it's as you said. Eberflus is going to be the worst coach against every single coach he plays from now on. They're going to be who have a better record or have proven themselves to be better at least this year. And that puts them in a bad spot. Not to mention, it's just a gauntlet of teams you have to play from now on. While the Arizona Cardinals can indeed tweak off, they have shown themselves to beat teams that are capable. And I think Kyler Murray is a fine quarterback. He's good. Nothing crazy, but he's good. And then you have to go against freaking your division twice in a row, and then Seattle to mix it up towards the end of the season. And that puts you in a really, really rough spot.
Don't forget about the Niners. Don't forget about the Niners too. Yeah.
Because everybody in the division is playing solid football. So it hurts their chances for sure. You have to literally win against Arizona, split against everybody, win against Arizona, split against everybody, and possibly beat Seattle for me to say, yeah, you're going to make the playoffs. That's a tough ask, especially with a division that's playing as well as NFC North. So as of right now, I'm not hopeful that they make the playoffs. If I had to grade it, they're probably like at a 60% chance, which is still high.
They're less than that, bro. They're less. They're at 20% chance right now.
I don't know about 20. That's a little.
That's currently what they are at NFL.com, and there's 5 teams below them. Going into this game, they had like a 36% chance. If they would have won, it would have got like up to like kind of like 50.
You said these are playoff chances.
Yeah,
So,
right now their current playoff probability is 20%, and you have teams with the Bucks at 4-4 with a 48% chance, the Niners at 4-4 with a 56% chance, Seattle 21, the Rams 21. Like they're lumped in with really Seattle, the Rams. You know, it really did take a big blow.
With all sets of data, the probability is determined on a subjective basis because you have to assume this is this equals that. And I don't agree with 20%. That's just way too damn low.
Teach your words.
Yeah, it's just way too damn low. Data in football is hilarious.
I know some of these words.
Data in football is hilarious because I don't believe in the vast majority of it because it's how do you
get on his old school football rant.
But you also Flows is right too, but also he's probably going to lead to the point, and I agree with. They're also taking into account that we have the hardest strength of schedule, with division games, we saw it, and I said it on the show last week when the Ravens went to Cleveland. Division games, you throw all that shit out because familiarity is there, and anything can happen.
Right, and because it still is relatively early with those type of percentages, if we win 2 games, it might jump up to 62% or some shit.
Right, so right. Which is why I think the best narrative or the best data is when you don't have to put a lot of human subjectivity into it. It's like, yeah, you win this or it's not. It's even like when you see on ESPN.com when a game is going on and it says so and so has a 90% chance of winning, and then all of a sudden it's back down to 0 because you lost. It's all subjective. And so based on what I assume, maybe 60 is a bit high, I give a 50-50 chance to make the playoffs based upon, again, my own subjective opinion of what I think can happen in the near future. And it's not high, but I'm not ready to panic and say it's on life support. Life support for me is 20%.
Mikey, where you at with as far as the playoff chances?
Oh, they have to win these next 2. You have to win these next 2. If you look at that NFC West, you have 3 teams that are 4-4 with the Rams now getting Cooper Kupp, Puka back. They're not going to trade Cooper Kupp. They're only 1 game back out of, being 500 in that division. The Eagles are starting to kind of put it together. Commanders are there. The Packers are there. This week we should all just honestly be Lions fans. And just for us, just hope that the Lions run away with the divisions and they beat up on the people that are kind of bunched up with us. They already did that with many. They got the Packers this Sunday. Take care of business there, Detroit. But, I honestly, me, I'm very optimistic. I would love nothing more than to win this weekend. But I told you, they're 3-17 on the road under Matt Eberflus. The 3 quarterbacks they have beaten are Bailey Zappi, Sam Howell, and Joshua Dobbs.
That's crazy.
They're going up against Kyler Murray. They're, Arizona Cardinals team that went on the road and beat the San Francisco 49ers, an Arizona team that went on the road to Miami and beat the Dolphins. They're pesky.
Healthy Dolphins, by the way, with Tua.
And this is a healthy Arizona Cardinals team. So they're cooking now. They're tied there in first place. You're going into their building. And Kyler Murray is a step up. And, I know last year we did beat the Cardinals when they came to Chicago, but that was playing in the elements. And Kyler Murray still had a pretty big game. So it's gonna be tough, but you have to win these next 2 games. I had said last week that I think they would be favored against the Cardinals and the Patriots, and that would be the only 2 games of the year that the Bears would be favorites. They are 1.5-point underdogs to the Cardinals on the road. So they're going to have to dig deep. They're going to have to play a complete full quarters, all phases. And, ask me next week after we see the results. But right now, I would say it's hanging on life support just because of how mediocre the NFC is and everybody being bunched up.
Yep. Dante, what's your where you got that playoff chances at right now?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm 70-30. We're not gonna make it the playoffs, and that is because I think Flus is a dumbass. I really think my homie, me and Justin, y'all know Justin, of course, but one of the friends of the family, Justin, he made a very good point. He was like, as long as Flus is the head coach, there's always a cap on his team. There's always be a ceiling. I'm at the point now where there is no, oh man, they might just go on a run and like I pretty much let my whole 12-win thing die unless some shit just change overnight, which is not going to happen. We know this team. So I'm going 70-30. They don't make the playoffs. So at this point, I really just I'm more concerned with Caleb's development and having him in one piece and prepared for his new head coach and new offense that he gonna get. So I'm 70-30. They do not make the playoffs.
As disappointed as I was yesterday, Caleb's development has always been number one for me this season. Even I had him at 10-7. Looking real 9-8, 8-9ish right now, but it's always been for me, Caleb's development. Bane, take us home on this one, and then we're gonna wrap up the local hour.
I'm still confident that the Bears can still make the playoffs. The NFC North is the best division, the most competitive, and they have had good success against one of those teams, actually the best team in the NFC North right now, which is Detroit Lions. They still have a winnable game next week against the Cardinals, and also a winnable game against the Patriots. So they have to win those two games, though. But I do still have confidence, not only in the Bears, but when we ask this question, we look at the teams around us. And I don't think that the tiebreaker-wise, we ain't got to worry about Washington because they're going to win that division. We got to worry about some of these other teams, and we've already beat some of those teams in non-divisional games. So if you could come out and take one from each of those teams, I think the Minnesota Vikings are the best chance of sweeping. Not saying it will, I said it's the best chance. I do think there's still a path for them to make the playoffs because of tiebreakers and division and what's going on in your division. It's going to be hard, but right now, in my opinion, and we kind of talked about that last week, the playoffs started yesterday, and we lost that first game. So with that being said, I'm not saying they got to win out and stuff like that, but they definitely have to get 5 more games to even be considered, and I think they can do that.
9-8 and 8-9 won't cut it this year. So
Yeah, I don't think so. I think 10-7.
I don't know how you get the 10 wins here. You're gonna have to win these next two. That's
they gotta win the next 3. They gotta beat the Packers.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta at minimum you have to win the next 2. You're at 6, and you have to find a way to split with the division. And then steal a game from Seattle or the Niners.
I think that can happen.
Yeah, but either way, you can only focus on who you play this week. And, we're going to learn a lot about this team. We're going to learn a lot about the players. We're going to learn a lot about the quarterback. Scott, you mentioned last week in private, you said that there's definitely a different vibe in the locker room and everybody's riding together. Well, you're going to see this week when you go up there what they're really made of and what, who's really about it, because it doesn't get any more demoralizing than that. You go from, being up and coming back from this improbable win where you should have lost by 30 and finding a way to now, losing in that fashion. It's gonna be really interesting to see how they come out Sunday.
So cool. Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not